The video review will start in a few seconds, but if you're watching this on YouTube, remember, if you have a question, comment, or suggestion for me, you can post it on 3dgameman.com, and the link is provided below. Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3dgameman.com, and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the SilverStone Sugo SG10 small form factor case. A great looking box that has lots of pictures, features, and specifications about the product on it, along with these Velcro straps on the top and bottom, which will make it easier to carry it. The case is packaged very well with two pieces of thick styrofoam on either end, and the case itself is in a plastic bag. Now, they include a number of different accessories. These are brackets for installing a slim optical drive. Above it is a bracket for installing a 140mm fan. There are 4 cable ties, a bag of screws, as well as a fan power adapter. This end gets connected into the power supply's 4-pin Molex lead, and there are 3 3-pin leads. Also 4 rubber feet, and you can put those where you want them on the case. They do not come installed. And there's 4 square adhesive spacers for a 9.5mm slim optical drive installation, as well as this 80mm fan duct to extend it from 25mm to 32mm. And they include a manual. Now, this is a small form factor case, so it's not going to be as large on the inside as some mid-tower cases, and certainly not as large as full tower cases, which is to be expected. Now, this case is all black. It's mainly comprised of steel, but it does come with an aluminum front bezel, and there's some plastic and mesh as well. At the top, they include a 180mm air penetrator intake fan, and also they have a handy removable dust filter here on the top. Just pull it off and put it back, and just push down and snap it into place. At the front is their logo, and that's it for branding. At the very top is a slot for the slim optical disc drive, and by the way, behind here is where you would install the slim optical disc drive, which, by the way, is not included. Now, it kind of looks like you could install a fan here at the front, but that's not the case. In fact, at the front is where you would install a standard ATX power supply. So this mesh and the hole here is provided so the power supply's fan can intake cool air. Here's the power button, reset button, 2 USB ports, as well as a headphone jack and microphone jack. On the left side of the case, they include extra ventilation, and this is for the front power supply. You can install 2 optional 80mm fans, but they include a 120mm intake fan. And note that this panel actually comes off, so it just pulls off here at the bottom like so, and you can snap it back into place. And I just wanted to clarify, while they do include a 120mm exhaust fan here, you can install an optional 92mm fan. Also, you can install either 80 or 92mm fans here. On the right side, they have this little punch out. Remember, this is where the power supply gets installed, as well as extra ventilation. At the back, they have a switch, and this is to control the speed of the fans. You've got a low, medium, and high setting on that. They include a 120mm exhaust fan. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed, and this knob here sticking out of the back is where you would connect the power supply's power cord into, and there is a cable on the inside of the case which goes from here to the front of the case, so you can connect the power supply internally. Also, here at the bottom, they include 4 ventilated expansion slots, extra ventilation, and note there's all thumb screws here at the back, and this will make it easy to remove the panels. There's nothing really at the bottom, and remember, you have those 4 rubber feet which you can install on either side of the case, whichever works best for you. And note that all of these thumb screws have rubber washers on them, and this is to prevent vibrations. Now, there are 2 panels, a main one and a smaller one. You'll need to remove 7 screws, 2 regular screws, and 5 thumb screws to take these off. Once you have it off, well, you have total access to the inside of the case. So certainly a different setup on the inside of here. The motherboard, which would get installed at the back, and here's where the power supply would get installed. Your video cards would go lengthways right here. So while this is a small form factor case, you do have a nice bit of space in here to really work, which is fantastic considering that this is a pretty compact case. Now, it fits micro ATX, mini DTX, and mini ITX form factor motherboards. It fits video cards that are up to 13.3 inches in length, a power supply that's up to 180 millimeters in length. And by the way, they do have a power supply bracket. You just remove the bracket, install the power supply on it, and then slide the whole thing into the case. It just makes it a little bit easier. Now with the power supply intaking cool air, you'll need to clean the dust filter, and thankfully it is removable. Just simply pop it off at the front like so, clean it, and then put it back into place. Now have a look behind the motherboard tray. As you can see, there is not a tremendous amount of room back here, especially when you start mounting drives. And speaking of drives, you can install up to 2 3.5-inch drives or up to 4 2.5-inch drives, and they get mounted here. And the brackets that these drives on are removable, so take them off first, install the drive or drives, and then put them back. Note the power cord, which I was mentioning earlier. This goes from the power supply to the back of the case, and then the power cord from there into the outlet. Now, cooler height is 165 millimeters, which is great considering the size of this case. They include a large hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate, which is an enormous time saver. Now have a listen to the stock cooling. If you're in the market for a small form factor case, this is probably it. This case is pretty much identical to the SG09, but this one, the SG10 case, well, has a different front and an upgraded fan, which is the AP181 fan. So if you like that, go for this one. Otherwise, go for the SG09 case. This, though, is a fantastic case. The styling is quite nice. It looks fantastic. The overall build quality is exceptional. Lots of fans included. You can install more fan filters, which are removable USB 3. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You really can't go wrong with this small form factor case. And, well, while it is a small form factor case, there is a fair amount of room on the inside to work. Although, like any small form factor case, once you have it loaded up, well, things get pretty cramped on the inside. But all things considered, this is a 100% kick-ass product. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and please note that pricing for this product is available on the 3D Game Man video review page.